Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
And here we are again with a playthrough of Amnesia. Okay, it's probably the first time for most of you, so hi, I'm Palin. I play pretty much whatever my community wants me to play. And my community, most in particular, River, bought this game for me, Amnesia: The Dark Descent. So I could go and ruin a few pairs of underwear. I did that because I could. Okay? I just want to open the door. Just like, let me out. Let me out. No? Okay. That's pretty slow moving. Yep. Let's get that tinderbox. All the tinderboxes. Yep, that's a tinderbox. That apparently was an alcohol. Up we go. Let's keep moving. Uh-huh. Tinderbox. Okay. Tinderbox there. Right, let's check. Yeah, can I hurt myself? Nope, nope, just checking. And I say nope. I think all these wind effects are happening in the same places that the opening cutscene took us. I'll be confirming that by watching the video later. You're welcome to go back and come back to this point now if you like. Okay. Oil?
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there'll be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
That's not Doddle then. What?
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
No, thank you. Oil, tinderbox. Oil? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Went through a spider web. Cobweb.
No! Get away from me!
I will get away. I'm gonna go far away from that. Okay. All of the tinder boxes. Watch me not use any of them. Almost not any.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
That was weird. Kind of grabbed two of them at once, and I pushed myself back while standing on the chair. Okay. We did just hear, "Hey there." Yeah. those doors. Tinder box. Key. Books and
17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
guessing Daniel never made it out of that structure. Perhaps we did return from the expedition. This is a strange place. So. Books don't fall on their own, so I don't like that. I should... Somebody's playing the piano. Okay. Let's go check that out. Yeah? Maybe we'll hold off. Well, locked. Well. Yep. We take it Daniel's remembering some things. We must have been here when the walls fell.
May 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light.
This is the part where we push ourselves. This enchanting light.
It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light.
Okay.
I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
Inner box, oil. It's a player piano, right? Player piano?
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the walls. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
Maybe. Anything bigger? Maybe? Taking that with us.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
Yes, the noise is on the other side. Okay. Monster shadow. Monster shadow. What's it saying? Well, that's what the shadow sounds like. Altstadt and Brandenburg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with lore is Altstadt. Deep within the East Prussian woods, for centuries there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbor, Castle Brandenburg. I think that's where we're at. Quiet forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversation, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twist on the tales, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. The Gatherers. This story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them, which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? Was it a gatherer we heard beyond the wall then? Some revenant? A visit undone. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Altstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day, he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Altstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The Immortal Baron. The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at his castle nearby Altstadt, and likely most those of noble birth. Rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remained popular throughout his presumed lifetime. His family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage, therefore the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. This is about the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the west over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted order of the Black Eagle, along with the great leaders of this country. Okay. Cool. Wine cellar. Okay then. Regarding closing of the wine cellar, Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. Interesting description. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave, or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I'll feed them some wine. It would, in a sense, solve both of my problems. Alright, done in here. Oh, we've been here. We're done. Study. No, not done. Let's follow. That gives me chills. Okay. Is he back there? No. No. No, 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 no. No. Yikes. Okay. Let's grab the wine cellar key. Let's go check out the wine cellar. Look at this. Wine cellar lab. Okay.
Where did the Baron go?
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
We got some. Pretty sure following the noise is the way to get to the objective, so. If it gets me killed, there's a save, right? Probably. Tell him. Did we die? We're awake again. Okay. Got enough? A bit more. Daniel is really heckin' strong. Heckin' strong. Let's work out. Not out yet. See, that would have killed me. Like, do you see my heart rate? I'm pretty sure it's insane. It's wine, right? This is all wine. Why would they waste so much wine? Yeesh. Okay. Hello?
What's happening? Oh, it feels like my chest is going to burst.
My God! Wilhelm, do something!
Except we're not getting out of here.
How can you say that? Alexander, you piece of shit! Let us out of here!
It's chemical. My name is Wilhelm, House of Garrick. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the castle Brennenburg, as most of the aristocracy. I was curious about what the supposed knight of the order could want from me and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid and that the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past and not the honors I've been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim and do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but it came swiftly, and I accepted wholeheartedly. Ever since that day, I've brought men, women, and children to Brennenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100, none of whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight, the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work. I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolic ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer. So Wilhelm and his men were the gatherers, perhaps. Perhaps there are no gatherers, but them. I really hope whatever can kill me is something I can see. Maybe that was above. Above? It's above. If I ever run out of oil. Enemy is nearest, you out of sight, hide in the darkness. Oh no. That door's open now. See no point staying down here any longer. I'm sure we're done. What do y'all think? That seems like a confirmation to me. Ugh. No items. There's a lab. We can do something with all those chemicals we found in the wine cellar. Chemical relocation? The lack of a chimney to properly vent the fumes from my most recent experiments has taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are stained by the fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do what I can and move them to the wine cellar. Good thing we already went to the wine cellar. I think that's what we have.
There should be more coop rack. Let me see. And one part aquafortis.
Artificial vita? Life? The former compounds lack the potency I need, but I sense I'm close. Calamine and orpiment are a given, and the cuprate binds them well. This time I will attempt aqua regia instead of aqua fortis and hope it will produce a more even solution. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid and proves impractical to put to any use except as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violently to the solution and should be handled with the greatest care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm losing hope that I'll find an alchemic solution to my predicament. Alchemic solution. Where have we seen organic tissue at? And can we produce enough of it? What is that? One day I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and a safe return. I. Okay. Fun part. Let's see. That was a confusing control. Circular motion. Oh, stairs crashed. I take it we can't make it. Okay. We'll just have to build way up. Can build a way up over here, it'd be easier. Okay. Easy enough. Okay, to the refinery. our lantern. You go. So use the acid. And here we end part 1 of Amnesia, The Dark Descent. We'll continue with the next portion next week. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe if you like what you see. Check out the Beacons AI link. Find all my social media platforms. Feel free to contact me with feedback and advice. I am pretty new to the this YouTubing thing. So go check out my twits. Come hang out with me in Discord.